So, because I know that some of you have always asked about Tantra and pranic sexuality and how this goes with all the other teachings that we learned here. Today I'm going to just touch on this subject a little bit. And we're also going to do some movement. So we got some nice music playing at some point, maybe. If we have the time, towards the end, we're going to do a very important meditation, the one that I told you about, which is working with the endocrine glands and the internal organs and all the other areas of the inner body, so that we get more energy, more prana, but also circulate the sexual energy through the body. So I want to know if you're interested in this topic, because some people have asked about it, and it was not in a schedule, but we can always change the schedule and put whatever we feel is right? So today this is what I'm going to touch on. First of all, before we begin, since some of you already gathered here, I want to know some of your questions on Tao Tantra, on Pranic Tantra, if you have any. Feel free to ask anything so that it gives us a place to start. I want to start with what you want to know. Is there any question on pranic sexuality that has been in your mind lately, and maybe you didn't get an answer for it? Not yet. Okay. So I'm just gonna start and we'll see how things go. But before we go into talking, because it's still very early in the morning, I invite you to just start synchronizing with the field and do some movement before anything else. Because movement is what helps us not only wake up, but also become more open, more intuitive, and really, really tuned into the subject that we're having today. I'm going to just take a moment to see if I can get some music, because Fabio is here. Fabio! Fabio! Prego, puoi salvare quella musica che ho messo nel tuo telefono? Sì, grazie mille, perché il mio fa ricordi. Grazie mille. So we're going to also have some music. I was waiting for my favorite guy on the tech team. But before we go there, we just tune into the heart chakra, the heart area, the center of the chest. When we start slowly, slowly moving our body, and in the meantime, we are aware that we're in a light column from the center of the universe to the center of the earth, that is surrounding us from the center of the universe to the center of the earth, and it's a light column like a cylinder as thick as your hands stretched out. So it's a very big light column. Each one has his own particular color, his own particular energy. You can join us if you want. And we're moving in this light column. And whenever we breathe the light and the energy from this light column around us. We breathe it in. We let it sink into our lungs, into our internal organs. The whole body is getting imbued with this energy with every breath. And as we breathe out all the tensions, all the worries, all the concerns, everything that no longer serves us, everything that is not beneficial for us, everything that is not for our highest good can be released in this light column as much as possible and as much as is necessary for us now. Perfect. Now we have also the music to do this. Just a little bit lower the volume. Fabio, un po' più basso è perfetto, grazie mille. And we imagine also this music imbuing ourselves as it moves through our bodies, as we do this slow dance, slow energy movement. We feel it, how it moves our body, and with every breath and every rhythm, we get more and more relaxed, more and more at ease, more and more fine-tuned. Everyone understanding English, or do you need another language also? Yes? Everybody understands English, okay. I can do 2 languages. Russian I don't know, but she sees the movement, okay. We just move, for instance. And breathing in, we breathe in this light into our light body and into our lungs. Then breathe it out, we breathe out all the worries, all the tensions, all the concerns, everything that no longer serves us. We breathe it out into the field, but before that it goes through this light column and it's transmuted, transformed, dissolved in the most beneficial way for each one of us. And we are perfectly centered in the heart. And with this breath, we see ourselves connecting to the center of the universe. Perfect, perfect, Fabio, grazie. Perfetto. We connect to the center of the universe through a connection cable that goes all the way up to the center of the universe, to the heart of the universe. You can call it the heart of God, however you prefer. The central sun, whatever you visualize it, but connect to the highest pulsation of the most powerful universal energy that you can access now through your connection cable that goes up from the center of the universe, from the center of your heart to the center of the universe. We feel this energy coming down through this connection cable, through your crown chakra and into your heart. And as we breathe, we let this energy sink into your body, in every cell of your body with every exhale. You inhale and receive this energy into your heart, filling your heart chakra with this love. We see it expanding, glowing brighter, like a crystal that is getting more and more energized. With this breath and with this energy from the center of the universe, you feel it vibrating or heating up or getting more and more filled, or with the universal presence of this fabulous nourishment. And as you breathe out, you breathe this love energy out into your cells, out into your internal organs, out into your entire physical body, and then out into your auric field and out into the universe. You're becoming a love generator, a prana generator. Oh, sorry. Okay. So we see this energy nourishing us. And when we breathe in, we fill our heart chakra with more and more of this energy. We let it sink into our heart, filling our heart with love, with energy, with nourishment, the prana. And as we breathe out, we let it flow out into our cells, into our internal organs, all the physical systems of our body, then out into the auric field and out into the universe, emanating out from our heart, generating positive, powerful love energy all the way around us, wherever we go. We let this energy flow down into our lower centers as well. We let it flow down to the perineum and to the feet and down into the earth, we start building roots through through the soles of our feet towards the center of the earth, and we visualize these roots growing stronger with every exhale, as if we're pushing them down towards the center of the earth, touching the heart of Gaia with our roots and with our love. We visualize another ray of light going down from our heart to the perineum, and going down from the perineum like an anchor to the center of the earth. And we feel how it feels to feel the energy of the center of the earth. That pulsation, that emanation of compassion that the center of the earth generates, holding us like a compassionate mother, like a completely loving, harmonious, feminine being that is keeping us all embraced in her energy, synchronizing our elements in the body and also our auric field. We visualize this filling up our body with every inhale as it goes up through the roots, through the anchor in the perineum. They all three unite in the perineum, and then they go up to the base of the spine, and then up through the spine to the heart chakra, and up through the spine to the base of your skull, and then up to the top of your head. See this energy filling up our body, fully imbuing every cell of our body with its presence. We visualize it filling up, and as the body fills up, we see how it's then bursting up our crown chakra, forming an energy field around our body like a sphere. It goes in a toroidal shape around our body, and it's filling our auric field with this earth energy. We allow it to fill our body and go all the way around us in a toroidal shape. Imagine yourself surrounded in this, perfectly flowing around you, perfectly surrounding you, forming a bioshield that is keeping out all the energies that no longer serve you, everything that is not beneficial for you, and also the Wi-Fi, the radiation, the pollution, everything is transmuted before entering your field, so that you only get the most beneficial energies for you now. We center back in our hearts. We give thanks for this amazing gathering that we just had for 10 days here. We give thanks for each and every one of us that has been present here, imbuing this field with our love and with our harmony and with our humbleness and with our intention for a better world and for more peace and for more love on this planet. We give thanks for everything that we have shared together as beautiful beings that we are. We give thanks for this amazing energy portal that is now imbued above us with all the information that we've written in throughout all these days of sharing here. We connect to this portal through our heart, through the crown chakra, go up towards this energy portal above us, and we connect into it consciously. We feel the energy of it going stronger with our conscious connection, and we see how it responds back to us, pouring into our bodies and into our own energy fields all the information, all the knowledge, all the wisdom of all the other people that have worked here before, all the wise men on this planet that have always connected to the pranic energy, all the ancient ones, and also the newer ones that have written here all their stories of wisdom, and connecting us all to all the other pranic portals along the planet. The pranic portal in Belgium, the pranic portal in Romania, the pranic festival there, the pranic portal in California. See your heart chakra vibrating as we evoke these. The pranic portal in Hawaii, the pranic portal in Glastonbury, and all the other wonderful vortexes of energy, the chakras of the planet as well, are accessed with our intention. As we tune into this portal above us, glowing out the matrix of the planet, the energy matrix around the planet. We let it glow. We see it reinforced by our intention, by our focused communion, by our natural awareness that this is true and this is possible and this is done whenever we come together and whenever we join together in the inner planes of love. In the subtle planes, we're always connected and we will always be. We feel these portals from all over the planet responding back to us, sending their wisdom and energy into this portal here and then down through our connection cable into our hearts. And this is Tantra. This is union with all it is. This is the ability to feel connected to everything that is. And having the knowledge and the wisdom and the power of everything that is. Of all that is. By centering into our hearts and connecting. And with this, I want to give thanks to all of you. We're going to continue with the Prana Tantra workshop, of course, but before that, I want to share something very important at least for me to express. I've been looking the other night at all of you as you were dancing through this beautiful music. And for 10 days I've been here and I've been watching everyone and tuning into their hearts and looking at their souls. As some of you know, my job is as a soul healer. This is what I do on this planet, and also to heal the pranic portals of the planet as well. And last night, I've been in awe for 10 days actually, just by looking at you, just by looking into your hearts. But last night, there was so much joy, so much perfection in this gathering, so much love was shared through all of us, so much harmony in our dance, and people were so happy in a way, each one of them so wise in their love. And I just wanna bow to you all for your greatness. I was so touched, even now as I speak, by the greatness of your soul, by the wisdom and your pure intention of making this world and your lives and your emanation a better place. That's so touching. It's amazing how each one of you is just so pure of heart. Of course, we each one of us have things to refine, things to perfect. We have our issues to resolve and all of that. But besides that, and beyond all that, all of you are so pure and perfect. So full of love, so amazing beings. Coming together. Each one has his own role, his own blueprint. You might look at people, some people, and wonder what are they doing here, or tend to judge, but each one of us is setting a clear frequency in this field, helping all the others with his presence in such a wonderful and sometimes such a silent way. You know, the kid that is playing on the grass, doing his thing, setting a small energy vortex there. And the man that is always giggling around and making flip-flops and things like that. And someone drawing in a corner. And someone playing some music in another place. And someone else maybe holding a workshop of 2 hours, you know, the noisiest one of us. We all have the specific role, the specific color or drawing in this magnificent creation, co-creation. I just wanted to take a moment and just give thanks for that to all of you. And this is also Tantra. This is the union of our souls. It also can go way beyond the physical bodies. I know some of you see Tantra as physical union. I promise that today we're going to talk about this. I know some of you see Tantra as physical union, and most of the Tantric teachers around the world talk about sexuality when they approach Tantra, which is of course, do you still hear me? Yeah. Which is of course a very big topic of all of it. But what I've experienced and learned is that you can feel comfortable to sit wherever you want. And we're not going to move much, or just move if you feel to do that. What I've experienced and learned is that Tantra goes way beyond physical union, way beyond our ability to touch each other in a physical way. I want to make this joke, you know. There was this band called Touch and Go. I don't know if you've ever heard it. And since today I'm just going to touch on this subject and then skip away. It goes way beyond our bodies, this topic. And actually Tantra means union, which is the ability to be united with all that is. The ability to expand our awareness beyond physical and be aware and conscious of everything that emanates from all the other beings around us and from nature and from the universal fields as well. To me, this is Tantra, the fullness of it. And of course, it has its branches. The White Tantra, which is the solo practice of, you know, the yogas, the breathing work, all the mantras and everything that we practice alone as a spiritual practice is called the White Tantra. It has its specific rules and paths. And there's the Red Tantra, which is practiced in a couple, which has the role and the blessing of enhancing the energies of both of the partners if they are aware, conscious, and present during their sharing. And with the sharing, again, I don't just mean the physical union, but all the sharing that goes on before and after. Because when a couple comes together, they don't only share during the moments of their touch. They will share, they are sharing and will share all the way through infinity, as long as they come together. They came together. So maybe this is a little strange to some of you, because many people now are thinking of casual sex and meeting someone just for you know, some little while, and they think that after this all is done, and that once they separated their physical body or their physical communication, they think they have stopped the communion. My vision and awareness of this is that once we've touched at a certain point in time, no matter which lifetime that is, we are still connected. And my vision and awareness of this is that we are still connected through all the timelines where we operate together in this plane, and maybe in other planes as well. What do you think about that? Would it be that complex? And from this perspective, casual sex, of course, does not exist. One-time sharing does not exist. It's just a loop that goes on and on through all the space-time fabric. And it never ends. Some people think that they ended a relationship. But can you ever end something that has never been separated from the beginning? Would that be possible? Of course, maybe the attachment ends. Maybe the communication is blocked by one of them. Maybe the physical sharing might end at some point. Some even, get out of this body, so of course the physical sharing ends. But the inner communion between the two never ends. It's continuously flowing through the fabric of space-time. This is the beauty and the wonder of Tantra, but also the challenge of it. Because some people, when they choose to randomly choose partners on and on, maybe every week or every night even, they get so imprinted with so many writings in their energy system that at some point they cannot hold themselves together. They cannot be, they can no longer master these energies that constantly come and flow through them. It's like being tuned to so many channels that in the end you can't understand anything from any of them. Because the main purpose of Tantra, besides the fact that it's the most powerful path to spiritual evolution, or at least the fastest path to spiritual evolution, and also one of the most dangerous, I might say, the main purpose is that you also get a lot of information and a lot of healing from each other. No matter how briefly you share, the energy bodies continue to transmit information to each other and heal each other, or at least impact each other, for eons and eons of time, if we want to measure this in time units. And that is why conscious sharing is very important. Because when you go fully open towards your partner and you hold space before and after and during your sharing, you hold space for whatever he needs to share or she needs to share, without blocking your communication, without blocking your awareness of it, without keeping him out or her out of the path that you've chosen. When you're consciously open to what he has to share, you'll get more and more information actually about yourself. And one of the easiest and fastest way to get information about yourself is to consciously choose a partner. Because once you've chosen him or her as a partner, you will constantly get feedback from your other version of yourself. I'm not talking here about random meetings, even though random meetings are also powerful, and as you consciously hold presence, you'll still have so much to learn and see. But I'm talking mostly about consciously choosing someone that opens you, someone that touches your heart. Your heart always knows who your partner is. Have you ever felt that? To exactly know who your partner is from a gathering and not get confused, or maybe I'm attracted to this one, maybe I should go this way, maybe I should try this one. Have you ever known exactly this is the one I'll be sharing with, if he's open to it? Yeah, some of you did. Some of you know what I'm talking about. That's conscious choosing. Not just going around with how the energy flows here and there, and at the end being all confused about what happens, but being fully aware of what really touches your heart and what really opens you. That's the magic of being, conscious about who you have to share with. And may it be that all of you, if you're open to this, have this awareness, because it spares you of so much confusion. Yeah, and I was saying that once we choose the one that really opens us, in Tantra, this is called, the partner that you choose is called the alter ego. We're not talking about the ego in terms of, the spiritual definition of it, the ego, the one that you have to cast away and not ever get back to. The alter ego in Tantra is another you, right? Some ancient people that I don't remember the name of have this salutation that says, in Lakesh. This means I am another you, or you are another me, actually. You are another me. When in Lakesh applies very well in Tantra. Because really the other one is another you. It's the masculine version of you or the feminine version of you, depending on what you are. Right? How many of you believe that? Or resonate with that? Yeah? And can you imagine, thank you so much, so beautiful new movement. Can you imagine if you came with this awareness in all the relationships that you choose or that come to you? Can you imagine how much richer your sharing can be? And how much powerful your wisdom can get just by holding space for the other to express whatever they need to express. Whether it is joy and love and peacefulness, or anger and frustration and whatever it is, just holding space for that and seeing what it does to you. And then asking for your inner wisdom to give you the answer of what it means to you and how it needs to reveal. That's the fast track to spiritual evolution. I also have to warn those of you who maybe haven't practiced too much that in Tantra, in solo practice, the White Tantra, and in Red Tantra as well, once we choose consciously to elevate our energies and move them through our body, or awaken the Kundalini as everybody wants now to do, and some of them push and force this to do, once we do that, the energy in your body becomes much more powerful, which some of you maybe have noticed. But as it goes up, it wipes out everything that it meets in its path. So if it meets, no, not wipes out, first it enhances everything that it meets in its path. So if it meets in joy and love and satisfaction along the way, it will enhance that, and you will be, of course, more joyful, more loving, more satisfied, and so on, more aware. But if it meets anger, if you have anger stored in your organs, if you have frustration, if you have mistrust, if you have anything that is stored in your body, because emotions are stored in the internal organs, then it meets that, it enhances it. The energy is neutral, it doesn't know good or bad, it doesn't know right or wrong, it doesn't know what to choose. We amplify that, we don't amplify that. It just goes through and bursts out whatever it meets. And that's when the frustration comes in Tantra. That's when the couples say, oh, I don't want to be with you anymore. Because you're this and that, and I'm this and that, and I'm feeling this. But that's the exact point when the two people should maybe be more and more aware of what happens. Because that's the healing. Moment. those of you who participate, please come in front of me because it's difficult for me to always turn. Italiano? Français? Si tu participes, s'il te plaît, si tu peux venir. Okay. That's when the healing comes. That's when if we hold space, we learn so much, we gain so much information. The other one, your alter ego, has the key to your wounds, and the other way around. So when he starts developing something, he might, of course, transmute some of his things, but he might as well mirror your things. Some people say, oh, my partner is having commitment issues, or is having anger at bursts or something. But have you looked at yourself to really see what you are not committing to? What is it mirroring? Maybe it's not the commitment issues in a relationship, but it might be commitment to a higher expression of yourself, commitment to more spiritual awareness, commitment to a lighter diet, commitment to a better practice, you know, commitment to something that you've been called to do or express, and that maybe you're holding back from, and that is in you, and it might be mirrored out in your partner as commitment issues in the relationship. So you see how complex and intricate that is? So much complexity. So that requires always a very refined awareness to be able to see through the weaving of it all and see how it unfolds and never look outside. The outside is just a play, you know, it's Krishna's play, it's just a painting that you're painting with your inner energy, but you're also painting it with your partner as well, as long as you get together. So those of you who have been celibate for a while, as I have been for a long while, once we move into a red tantra practice, so into a couple practice, it's always interesting to not get caught into that's your issue game. You know, you've been all this time maybe solo or very much imbued into your own energy and into your practice and so on, and when the other one comes and starts in front of you and all of this is chaotic, you know how it is, you tend to say, oh, I've been working for so long and you're giving me so much shit right now, so that's your issue. There's never their issue. That's your thing coming out, something that you held back, that you've never been able to notice in your practice, that eventually that one triggers. And he knows your buttons, because he touched them all. Okay. La traduzione in italiano, ok. Provo a fare le due lingue, ma sarebbe più difficile perché abbiamo poco tempo. Se no, apriti il cuore, prego, e sarà tutto scritto lì. Ti prometto. Okay? So, somebody is asking for Italian translation. I'll see if I can do both. Okay? I'm trying. So that's what happens in Tantra, okay? Especially in couple practice. 'Cause today I've been called to talk more about, let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Okay, because that's what people haven't heard much of here till this moment. And yeah, it's the right time. As we're leaving, we might as well go home and see what happens. Because everyone, actually, yes, this is why I'm doing this. I'm aware now. Because we're all going home. And here, please join us. We're all going home. And everyone here has been in such a beautiful sharing together, and everyone has heart opened, and everyone has been worked on by so many masters, and they had their hearts opened and their energies fine-tuned, and they've been held, you know, like in the arms of a mother here, and everyone has shared beautifully with each other, hopefully. But then you go back to your life. That's your life, your creation from before this, that might be somehow refined during this gathering. Maybe you've already received some messages of what needs to change, but you're still going back there, and maybe some of you are meeting your partners, and you're coming from here full of light, all shiny, so much prana. And this one might be, you know, crunchy from some issue he had at home, or he stepped on something and his leg hurts, whatever. And he doesn't meet you with that much love. And of course he does not meet you with the frequency that you met here. Because here, it might be somehow different. And you're feeling suddenly hit by something that you're maybe no longer familiar with. You've forgotten for 10 days. And you tend to close because of that. Maybe, some of you. Maybe I'm speaking for someone here, I don't know, this just flows. I'm just channeling information, okay? You're getting this kick in your energy body, and you're saying, oof, and you close your heart, and you push the other one out and say, I don't want to deal with you now, because I'm pranic, and you're not. And I'm full of love, and you're in a shitty state. And I'm not going to deal with that. Deal with your own stuff. That's not Tantra. I just want to mention. Tantra is when you hold space. You sit down. Maybe if the kick is too hard, you have to have a chair. Sit. Breathe. Remember what you learned here. Go back in your heart. Start spinning there. Okay? And when you start spinning there, everything seems milder. And everything is instantly remembered. So you remember what you learned here. You remember the energies that you received. You remember the greatness of this love that you share. And you suddenly start to open slowly, slowly, and feel that the other one might just have an issue. Maybe he's hurt. Maybe he's had a very, very rough childhood. Maybe he has been raped or beaten along his life, as many of us have been. And I'm working very much with people that suffered trauma from rape or abuse, parents' abuse, school abuse, so on. So many atrocities on this planet still that are imbued in people's bodies and energy bodies, but it's stored in your physical as well. And maybe this one, the one you've chosen, has been through that thing. And maybe his reaction to the love that you're emanating coming home is not being one of love. Maybe it's being one of fear for some reason. Maybe love even scares him or her. Maybe he hasn't been used to this level, this degree of intensity. And maybe he associates love with something that is very painful. Like his mother loved him a little bit and she left. Or like his father loved her a little bit and then he tried to touch her. That's the kind of trauma that I'm seeing here on this planet all the time. Working with so many people in the soul healing sessions, this is what I witness all the time. And it's actually for some people so difficult to even read that it takes really diligent and conscious work to take them out. And before they really are revealed, you just think the other one is crazy. But what I feel when I see this is so much. And really when I'm able to hold focus, I must admit that I'm still working on it, but most of the time I'm able to hold focus. When I'm able to hold focus within, during another one's outburst of whatever it is there, I always get filled with so much compassion and so much understanding of their pain and of the trauma. And if he's in front of you doing that, it's either you're his key or healer, and some of us might get into that role very comfortably. Oh, I have to heal him now. Oh, it's so good. I'm getting a superior role. It's so easy. But most of us are not the healers, they are the healed. And the other person, the angrier one or the crazier one, is the master. Could you believe that? That the crazy one or the unaligned one might be the master actually, pulling out all the roots of your suffering that are so deep that you can't even notice. That is Tantra. The awareness of this, I don't know if this works, the awareness of this is Tantra. The awareness of the fact that you're so much in union with the other one that is just another expression of you. It might be a not so balanced expression of you, but it sure is an accurate one. And actually, because I've been in long, very powerful tantric relationships and been trashed several times in this process, consciously choosing to open up every time, because I had my own stuff to deal with, of course, like all of us. Knowing this, having experienced this, as I was sharing with a friend the other day, every time you consciously choose to open again, every time you consciously choose love out of all the other emotions that you're feeling, every time that you choose to actually stay in your heart and stay open for what the other one needs to share, that's your virtue gaining time. That's the time when you evolve again and again and again and again and again. Also, I want to be clear that it doesn't imply that you stay in a very energy draining relationship. You're not compelled to do that. If it's a lot of energy draining, if it's a lot of, I don't know, substance abuse and stuff like that, or violence, you don't have to be there with your, also with your physical presence every day and endure all the suffering. But to stay open to what the other one needs to share is a different ballgame. You can take your time to when and how you open to that sharing. You are entitled and have the right to take your time to balance back yourself. So you don't just stay there until you're completely trashed and have no breath left in you. That happens between partners, I know. But just staying consciously open and not judging the other is another thing. And if you feel called to exit a traumatic and toxic relationship that only drains you and brings you no love, and you feel called and you feel the power to be able to do that, you can do that. But as long as you still hold space for whatever that sharing needs to reveal to you, that means if it's been 5 years of shitty sharing and some beautiful sharing on the side, you just look at all the sharing and ask for yourself, your higher self, your heart, to show to you, what am I learning here? And what's the virtue that's meant to be gained? And you can still gain that virtue even if you're not in the toxic sharing. As long as you hold space for the other to manifest in your energy field and give you the wisdom that you're about to receive from him or her. So not cast him out completely, hold space, but don't get to the point where you're getting too toxic. And if you're asking how would I know, how would you know when it's too toxic and when it's the time? to exit out, your heart always knows. Your heart always knows. When you have the power to open to love again and again and hold space for the other to manifest, you can do that. When you feel that you no longer, for some reason, have to deal with that it might be completed. And just the love and the harmony of that relationship shall remain. And you know that a relationship is in its harmony state when everything you feel for the other person is love and gratitude. Yes, for all the things that they have done or said or shared. When you feel love and gratitude, that's when you've done your homework with that person in your core. And with that, I created a help tool. I've also shared about it in the other meetings that we've had. I've created a help tool called the Healing Meditation for communication, for silent communication and creativity or sexuality. So healing meditation for communication, creativity and sexuality. That's something that helps you go through all your endocrine system and release energy from there. Then it helps you go into your inner organs, and the Taoists know that each organ is storing positive emotions and negative emotions. And once you go into that organ, knowing exactly the sound and the color to put in, you know exactly how to work with these emotions and let them out of your system. Very easily. And there's a circuit of energy that goes through your body that not only helps release the emotions, but once they're released, that helps store more prana in your bodies. Because the prana does not stay or store in a place with very cluttered energy. So the point is to unclutter and consciously deal with emotions so that you have more space in you. You know, like Nassim was sharing, 999.99999 space. I love that. And that's also like you are already that, we're already that, but creating space, creating room in our internal organs for positive, beneficial energy stores the prana there. And you're no longer just transceiving it through your body, just taking it and living it, but you can also hold it for situation when you have to do more effort or you have to do with the other person's emotions that are stronger than you can normally take. Yeah? When you have enough prana stored in your dantian and into your internal organs, you can deal with stress factors better, you can deal with your partner's outbursts better, you can deal with your inner emotions better, and you can hold space for them to reveal in a harmonious way. Because prana is there, energy is there, to help you acknowledge what you are feeling. Once consciousness is there, your emotions and outbursts and your partner's emotions and outbursts are no longer a mystery to you, are no longer a riddle, are no longer what is he doing? Why is he saying this? Once consciousness is there, once prana is fully present, you are instantly able to see the other person's suffering in his expression, in his anger, in his turmoil. You can see what he's dealing with and hold space for that to manifest without judging, without getting upset, without feeling hurt especially. Yes? Because the most traumatic thing for us is when we feel hurt by the other people's expression and we start judging that situation and we no longer hold presence for what he needs to reveal or express. We go into our own trauma then. So we cannot be aware of the messages that he transmits, because we start getting messages from our own pain. Once our pain is liberated from ourselves, once our own emotions are liberated from the place that they are stored in, then we're able to have positivity and health and power also. Not only love, but also power is necessary. to be able to hold space for the other one, your tantric alter ego, and say, okay, spill it out. Then you see what you got. Or just not with this attitude, like you're being master and this other one is weak, it makes him feel weak. Just lovingly, maybe hugging or maybe touching, just a little bit, just to see that he is loved, even through his anger, even through his craziness, as it might seem to be, even through his traumatic expression, is still held in your love. You know, one of my dearest friends was sharing that no matter what a woman would do to him, you know, sexually or in love pain, the most beneficial and nourishing energy is when he feels loved no matter what. To have that also, that no matter how the tantric mistress would be, how powerful, the only ingredient that would complete the picture is that mother nurturing love that holds the person in complete, non-judgmental field of I know you from the beginning of time. I've seen you through all your pain, through all your lifetimes, through everything that you've ever experienced. And I know that we've been together. And I know that we've come together now for a special learning or sharing together. And I'm allowing you and holding space for whatever you are in this role. Because I know that you're only playing a role. And I'm seeing your inner divinity. Yeah. But before we get into it, this is just a story, so don't believe me. Just test it and see what it does to you. Okay? Questions? Do I still have no time? Okay. Thank you for holding space. So then, if you have questions, I'm gonna move somewhere we can share. I'm still here for a couple of hours, so if somebody has wants a session or to share something with me, you can do that. But I'm leaving today. So those of you who still want books or some sharing or whatever, or just a hug, get closer because now it's time. Okay? See you whenever we're meant to meet you. And I'm in awe for your beauty and loving presence here. And I don't know what I'm doing with this. Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Cristiana.
everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Nicholas, for putting this together. He's an amazing being.
So Atlantis workshop won't happen because she's in California.
Okay.
We're going to have Rafaela performing group channeling in half an hour rest.
Romania is so much far away from me.
Where are you from?
France.
Oh, 3 hours? What do you mean too much away?
No, I'd like to go to Romania to the festival, but it's 2,000.
It's 3 hours of flight.
Yes, but
you know best.
Yes,
but for me,
yes, I know.
Thailand is far. India is far.
Yes.
Romania, a blink away.
Yes.
Whatever you decide. I'm coming back to you just to stop this, and then I don't know how to stop this actually, but yeah. 1 moment. Does anyone know how to stop a Facebook video?